The last time I looked at MMA Jenkins, I went humanist and I tried to empathize. But as that video continues into her first date with Vampire Boy, well, it gets a little harder to do so. What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and today we're once again looking at MMA Jenkins, and she's going to talk about her first date with Vampire Boy. Can't quite remember his name, not really being disrespectful, just a loving description of what I see from the guy. And I said in my last video that they make a good couple. So take my jokes for what they are, as jokes. But in this video, there's going to be a lot to combat, and there's going to be a lot to talk about.
After hearing that story at the very beginning of our friendship, I knew that I would have to meet a standard, and I would have to surpass it almost. And so through that, I knew that this date would have to be so intricate, so special, and so absolutely amazing. And so I start planning with her friends, I start planning with my friends of all these different intricate pieces and all these different intricate timings and different intricate reservations and all these different things, so that Emma would just feel that she's not settling, that she is special, that she's a beautiful daughter of the king.
I bet, dog. I bet you had a lot of pressure if MMA told you that story about her first date with her dad. It's a lot to live up to. A lot of pressure. MMA Jenkins is famous and apparently comes from a lot of money. You're probably marrying up. A lot of pressure on you. Let's see how you perform.
That week was so much fun because I didn't know anything, but I did know that I was gonna get to wear a dress and be with this incredible fella, which is always something to smile about. But it was really cool because in not knowing, my heart was in a posture of waiting still. The Lord was teaching me a lot about waiting. And in the same way with our relationship with God, we can trust that we're waiting for a good thing because it's He who is leading us through it.
And here's where we really start to have the stupid bullshit that MMA says come through in this video. Everybody knows I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. But I take issue with Christians that just think that God has His hands in everything because He doesn't, and it's apparent. And for people to give all glory to God, well, to me, is just taken away from what they do as individuals. And the issue that I take most with the rhetoric of MMA Jenkins is it sounds so fucking cultish. I mean, she seems like a really genuine person, and I've reached out to her on Twitter, like, come have a conversation with me. We all know that that's not gonna happen. But the things she says, these things that she's so fucking giddy about, they're dangerous, they're cultish, and they're not real.
And throughout the week, I got excited as I was waiting because I knew that I was waiting for a good thing. I trusted that what I was waiting for was going to be exceedingly and abundantly more than what I could have ever asked or imagined it to be. And so that was so fun. I also, because Josh was talking with my girlfriends about how he could plan it the right way, and so I knew that my roommate knew every detail. And sometimes I would have urges to ask her what she knew. But every time I had that urge, I would just take a step back. And the Lord would continue to press on my heart. Enjoy the wait. Enjoy the wait. What you're waiting for is a good thing.
That literally is not the Lord. It literally is not. You're attributing your thoughts to the Lord. You thought about asking your girlfriend what Josh was planning, but thought about it. You realized that would spoil it. So you didn't do it. It wasn't fucking God.
You can trust me. And I trusted Josh that it was going to be a good thing. So that was a fun week of waiting.
Finally, the Thursday, the 29th has arrived, and I am so nervous.
I mean, that was a really weird face she just made. Really quirky, weird face, but to each their own. But we're here. We're at the date. Let's see if our boy Josh, not Vampire Boy, Josh, can live up to the hype.
I had so many classes that day, but I honestly could not focus about any of those classes. All I could think about was the date, and gosh, I hope it goes well. I hope she says yes. And so I knew that she was getting ready at this certain time because her friends were going to come do her makeup and get her all ready, and I had to go to the store and go buy flowers. And so then finally 4:30 arrives, and I'm outside, and I'm standing outside all dressed up with flowers, and all these people keep on walking by, and there's literally so many people walk by that there's a crowd waiting outside of our dorm wanting to see if who's about to walk out.
Yeah, no shit, dude. No shit. You're dating MMA Jenkins. She's famous, especially among all these cultists that you're hanging out with. This is gonna happen through your entire marriage. And you seem like you have the patience to deal with it. And I think you'll probably deal with it well. But let's be honest, dog. Let's be honest. You're gonna be the beta in this relationship. She's always gonna be more popular than you. People are always gonna want to talk to her before they talk to you. Better acknowledge that shit.
And so as soon as Emma Jenkins walks out, all these people start cheering. And so we see each other. She looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And so then I give her the flowers, and we start heading downtown at that point. And what I have waiting for us is I have one of my really good friends is a photographer. And so he starts taking our photos all throughout downtown, just having a good, fun time, honestly.
That's a pretty good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Why didn't I ever think about doing that shit? That's a really good fucking idea. Vampire Boy had a good idea.
And so, but after that, after he leaves, he goes and develops the photos, edits and develops the photos for us. And he puts it in a scrapbook that I've been making all week long of the very first photos that we taken and all the photos in between. And that would be waiting for her after our date on her bed. So whenever our date is over, that'd be waiting for her.
Okay. Brilliant. Can I be so brave as to say that that's fucking brilliant? Gonna give him some pimp game props here. Josh, my man, got some pimp game. Well, let's keep watching.
It was so sweet. It was so sweet. That day felt like Christmas Eve and Christmas all wrapped up into one. Because the first part of the day, I couldn't focus on my classes. Then the second part of the day, it was like waking up and it was Christmas morning because just of how much fun it was. And it was so sweet. He delighted in every detail. And it was a blast. And it was the first time I got to hold your hand.
It was the first time.
Aw, it's so sweet. First time she got to hold your hand. But my dude, my dog. You got her. Your date worked. I mean, it's obvious. You can tell from her response right there. You got her. That shit was brilliant.
And after that, we went to dinner.
You gotta get some supper.
Gotta get some supper. We went to a really nice restaurant here in Lynchburg, and we just gotta have like an amazing meal. You had salmon, and I had steak.
So good.
So it's pretty stellar. And so we had a good time just talking. And then after that, I led her all the way up to the roof. And on this roof of this hotel, there's a little patio with a bunch of like fireplaces and a little restaurant up there. And so it was middle of November, or it was late November, and so it's cold.
Hashtag pimp game strong. Pimp game strong. Dude, really pushing up hard. I gotta give Vampire Boy some props.
And so they give us blankets and hot coffee and tea, and we have dessert, and we're just talking.
It was so fun. Cause you had to go upstairs because you gotta get dessert. And so we did. We just enjoyed dessert and enjoyed spending time together because time together is just very well spent.
I mean, seriously, so far, my response to their first date, outside of the ridiculous god shit that Emma spews occasionally, is that Josh Vampire Boy has got some serious pimp game. Like, he could write a fucking manual on pimp game. Like, motherfuckers should be taking notes. Like you want to get the girl? This should be your guru.
and then he led into something that I just admired so much. Josh started talking about the definition of love.
Ooh, dude, my dude, you gotta be a master pimp to start talking about love on the first date. I mean, you gotta be a master pimp, you gotta be a master player to talk about love on the first date. Treading lightly here. Treading very lightly.
So, before I ever told anybody I loved them, and I truly mean it whenever I say I love you. Because I used to say it all the time, just throwing it out there, not really meaning it. But then I really saw back and took a step back of what is the definition of love? And you have to take it back and look in the Bible. And you have to look at Jesus of how he loved the church. And to truly love something or to someone is to love how Christ loved the church and how he died for the church and how he would do anything for the church. And so in the same way, I loved Emma the same way Christ loved the church, of that I would die for Emma.
So even though I disagree with everything he's saying right now, I'm going to get back to his pimp game strong, because he's coming at love in a biblical way, which is pretty much the only thing that's going to melt MMA Jenkins' panties, let's be honest. Let's just fucking be honest about that shit. But I think I have to completely disagree with his interpretation of Jesus here. I mean, Jesus didn't die because he loved the church. Jesus died because he stood in opposition of the church. He was preaching new preachings that the church didn't disagree with, mainly regarding the equality of women. And the church really didn't seem to agree with him going in and casting out the moneylenders and all that shit. And the church really didn't seem to agree with him claiming to be the Son of God, because they fucking killed him for it.
And that I would do anything for Emma. So I had to tell her this so she knew that my feelings and my intentions were solid and firm in the word, that it wasn't just a random feeling that I had. Because love is not just a feeling, it's a choice. And it's a choice you have to choose every day.
This was huge, getting to sit down with him and hear his heart and see how he was seeking the Lord, and that his words weren't just empty words. Because in Ephesians 4:29 it says, "Let no unwholesome words come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up, so that it may benefit those who listen." And so to simply hear his heart behind the word love, and that it wasn't just a word to sound nice or a word to make me feel good, it was a word that was coming from the heart of the Father, meant so much to me.
Hashtag master pimp. Hashtag player. Dude just knows what the fuck he doing. He could put a ring on that right now if he wanted to. Which I'm guessing he gonna do probably in the next video.
And so finally, I have to ask the question. And so I get all nervous, and so I finally just lean over to her and I'm like, Emma Jenkins, out of all this date leading up to it, I have to ask you a question. Will you be my girlfriend?
Yes.
And so we finally have that conversation of just being boyfriend and girlfriend, and we're both so giddy and happy about it.
It's so fun.
I mean, all this build up just to ask her to be your girlfriend. Kind of taking away some pimp points there, dude. But in all seriousness, they do seem like a good couple. Two very deeply indoctrinated people that are going to feed each other's indoctrination. And maybe they'll eat each other up. And this craze of MMA Jenkins will come to an end. I don't hope that, because I find it funny.
But then, immediately following that, I knew my heart. I knew in the past relationships that I've had that I would have to have the conversation about boundaries immediately.
Mm-hmm. So, right after we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend, Josh initiated the conversation about boundaries and how important they are and how much they honor the heart of the Father.
Boundaries. Like, when you hold my hand, you're not allowed to stare down at my midsection. or get too close because you might feel my boner. Boundaries. We can't touch each other in a physical manner, even though we're human beings and it's what human beings want to do, because our imaginary friend will get pissed off and probably shun us and throw us into hell even before we die. Boundaries. Boundaries. Like, we can't even be in situations that people might actually think that we're getting too intimate too fast. Because, well, MMA has a reputation to uphold. Boundaries. Boundaries. Like, MMA, I know you're the famous one, but I'm still the dude, goddammit. I'm still the dude. Alright, I don't really believe that last one. Just having some fun. Just having some fun. But seriously. Seriously. They seem like a good couple that say a lot of stupid shit. And they need to really start looking at what they're doing in this life. How they're succeeding at such a young age. Take credit for that. I'm not saying don't believe in a God. Just believe in yourself a bit more. And as I said, I did reach out to MMA to come have a conversation with me. I highly doubt this will ever happen. But I'm interested in hearing what she thinks about the LGBTQ community, about trans issues, about people being people. How does she think we atheists are? Does she like us? Does she know us? Does she think we're possessed by demons? These are all questions I'd love to ask MMA. What's up, guys? If you like my video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Watch what's next. Watch what YouTube recommends for you. Tell all your friends how crazy Nakasuchi is. I'll see you soon.